What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 75 of Lyon Live, here in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Today we're back. It's the end of the winter break, and we start off with a game against Aneki FC? Aneki? I don't know. What league are they in? I've never heard of them. I assume they're a super lower league. Yeah, they play in the National Free Division, which is below the playable leagues. Let's have a look at their key prospect. I mean, he actually looks so... Let's get a scout report. They've also got a load of other regions here who are like their captain and stuff. I'm going to be honest, they don't strike fear into me, so we may well play a rotated team for this game to start today's episode. Of course, if you missed last episode, make sure to go check it out. In that, of course, it was the winter break. We've had a little bit of kind of transfer dealings in terms of offers coming in. We've not really committed to anything as of yet. But, well, let's see how we get on today. Looking at things here, we almost have a rotated team already, which is kind of good news. Probably a good chance to bring in the likes of Gnanon, Trincao, of course, on his way out on loan to Fiorentina. Kenny Lala can come in. Petrenko, we can give a starting goal. OJ can probably come in for Awar. Yeah, we're really going to utilise, I think, this opportunity really just to, make sure that everyone who's a little bit unhappy has a chance to be happy again. And everyone who hasn't quite featured as much as I would like... at least gets a little bit of a run out in this game. Although, actually, when you look through the appearance column here, most players have played a fairly even amount of games. I feel like we have done quite a good job of, ensuring that everyone is on the pitch at different times and getting some first-team opportunities. Am I happy with this team? I guess Endon Bele doesn't necessarily have to play, but I'm not sure who we'd really bring in his place. So maybe we'll just keep him in to try and inflate his goal tally for the year. Depay... do I want to keep Depay in? You know what, I think I do. He could do with a little bit of a good run in the team, maybe a chance to pick up some form. And yeah, this is the first round of the French Cup, which if we just look at here, of course, a competition that we won last year. So we definitely want to try and retain it. We go in at the 9th round. There's still plenty of teams duking it out. And this should, and I say that kind of hopefully, just a really simple game. This should be a game that we absolutely annihilate them in. We can all go home happy, and complacency hopefully isn't going to set in here. But an opportunity perhaps for some players to build up a little bit of match fitness, maybe gain a little bit of confidence if there is much to be gained from, scoring a few in this kind of game. And we'll take things from there. But yeah, today is episode 75, which is absolutely crazy. I really can't believe that this series has gone on this long. That might sound weird, but when I started the series way back in kind of February, March time, I didn't know how people were going to react to it. It was kind of an untested format. I don't think I'd seen anyone really do anything like this, where obviously in the past, myself and other YouTubers have uploaded stream VODs. But the idea of just doing this kind of long, continuous series was a bit of a leap into the unknown, but it came off the back of a few series which hadn't quite landed as well as I wanted. And you guys have just been so positive and receptive to it, which is absolutely great to see. And, I think it's had its ups and downs this series. I feel like this year has been quite an interesting test. Obviously, winning the Champions League so soon was a little surprising. I almost wish it hadn't happened so soon. But I feel like the challenge of this season, trying to avoid being sacked, having to fight back, still being in the Champions League now, it's kind of keeping things interesting and fresh, which has been, something that I was a little bit worried about with this series, as I said, because I didn't know how long it was going to go on for. And I also didn't know how much people would remain engaged with a save. Sometimes you do a save as a Football Manager YouTuber, and the first few weeks people love it. They watch every episode, and then it kind of just fizzles out. The next new thing comes along. But you guys have just been absolutely bloody loving this, and that makes it way more enjoyable for me to do. I know that as of late, the episodes have slowed down a little bit. This is one of many episodes I'm having to record way ahead of schedule. In fact, this may even be one of the last videos I have to record ahead of schedule, which is nice. But, we got a penalty here. Let's score the penalty, then we can keep talking. But, no, I do hope that you guys are continuing to enjoy this series. I'm still very much enjoying playing the save game. Memphis, can you score? He can't, and because he hit the woodwork and no one touched it, he then couldn't go for a rebound, because that would count as a double hit. I want to be concerned in a weird way, but we're playing so well. I'm not going to be overly concerned just yet. If we fail to break the deadlock come the 60th minute, then panic might start to settle in just a little bit. I am actually wondering for the second half if we should go to the more direct attacking style of play. It doesn't seem like the most terrible idea, to be honest, because going forward, they're not really doing a great deal. So I'll tell you what, direct attack, Romero back, and Dombele box to box. Auger, show us what you can do as the advanced playmaker, my friend. Show us that you are the reincarnation of Fekir. But yeah, just going back to what I was saying before, like, just again, thank you for watching the series. If you're watching this now, you know, 75 episodes in, you've probably watched over 50 hours of me talking in this series if you've watched every single one. My brain struggles to compute why anyone would want to put themselves through that torture, but I appreciate if you are one of those people, or indeed if you're one of those people who can't catch every single episode. I always appreciate the fact that it can be tricky to keep on top of a series when episodes are maybe coming out more frequently than you can dedicate time to watch. It's kind of interesting with this series because we started off doing it just about every day. Keane, lovely goal. Okay, now we can relax. Auger with the assist too, which is good to see. But yeah, it's weird with this series because we were uploading nearly every day and I was thinking, man, people are going to struggle to keep up. People are going to, to episodes every day that are this long. Like, how is anyone going to, be able to watch every single one? And I do think there was an element of that. But on the flip side, recently, as you guys will know, the episodes, we've kind of alternated this series with the Canadian series. I think it's helped prolong my enjoyment of this save in a weird way, prevented me getting burnt out on the save game. The fact that, the fact that, I don't have to necessarily sit down and force myself to record every day. But equally, there's so many people going like, Jack, when's the next episode? And I love that enthusiasm. Sometimes I think that enthusiasm becomes a murky it crosses that line into a little bit of entitlement with some of the comments, but at the same time, it's really nice to know that people enjoy this series so much and that there's people who do want to watch it every day. As I said, I think some people view when they see the Canadian save going up instead of this, they think, oh, well, Jack must be, he's doing that save over this one. It is that, of course, but just because I'm doing that, episode doesn't mean there'd be an episode of Lyon instead. I feel like I've had this experience in my channel a lot in the past, where I'll get burnt out on Football Manager or on a specific save, and I find myself, I try and push through it, and I can do that so much, but then I kind of hit a break point, and at that point I'm just like, man, I just can't even bring myself to open the save game, and the videos just vanish. So rather than letting that potentially happen with Lyon, I'd rather just pace myself at a pace that I enjoy. And I feel like that's been a lot healthier approach this year. In general, I feel like, obviously with the YouTube channel, in the last few iterations of Football Manager, we've kind of got to March time, and I've kind of felt done with Football Manager in terms of the videos that I wanted to do. This year, it's mid-June, and I'm still able to sit down and record and enjoy videos 8 months after the games come out. I am already thinking kind of ahead and thinking that, just before FM20, I will probably just take like a few weeks, maybe a month just off, just to kind of recharge my batteries, not worry about videos, maybe throw in the odd splattering of FM20 kind of hype videos, anticipated Wonder Kids, videos, maybe reviewing feature videos and such. But kind of the reality being that, this year has been a really, really good year for me and my channel. I feel like in terms of my mindset, I'm in a way better place than I have been in previous years. Okay, I was in a better, but then Memphis Depay broke his leg. He's going to be out for 4 to 6 months. We'll send him to a specialist, but that is bad. So we're basically without Depay for the rest of the season now because of that pointless game. Maulida's injured as well. It's not great. I mean, do I now want to actually loan out Trincão? I think I do. Moiskin can slot in on the left. Coman can play on the left. Although I might still need Trincão now. That changes things. That does change things just a little bit. Depay's played 16 games for us. There's going to be more opportunities. I'm going to have to cancel that Trincão loan out because I think we might end up needing him now. I'm sorry to the teams that bid on him. I'm sorry, Fiorentina. Eder Militao, those offers still lingering in the background. Just way off what I want, though. Way, way, way off what I want. I did actually notice recently I uploaded a video in this series, and obviously, as you guys know, I'm recording ahead a little bit, but someone commented on the fact that Manchester United's top goal scorer was a regen, I believe. And I kind of want to check that out. Their top goal scorer is Tom Smith, who is a 19... Oh, my lord. Okay. He's quite good. He started at Southampton. They signed him from them for 36 million, and he's got 11 goals this year, and he's 19. I mean, he's pretty good, isn't he? He's pretty good. I assume he's one of the only regens that's in the England national team at the moment. He is. He's not bad, that lad. I'm not going to lie to you. No regens in the French national team yet. Durand, I think Durand will get into the French national team, I believe. Someday he's going to be there. He's only 17 as well. How's Aneda doing? He got a goal and an assist in a demolition derby against a lower league team. I mean, that's what we want to see. Let's just compare Aneda with Tom Smith. See, I view Aneda as being a pretty good striker at 18. Smith is, well, not. He's only just turned 19. Smith's about 3 months older, and that's the difference. That's nuts. 7 games won in the French Cup is a record. Woo, we're the best. That is bad that we've got such a big injury. We've now got the quarter-final against Sochaux as well. Larsen's gone trial. He's the Norwegian guy who our scouts threw up. As in, they didn't puke him up. They like, suggested him. I still kind of want to sell Fekir at the moment, but I don't want to sell him short of what he's worth. If we just do our best 11 selection. Also, Sochaux at home. How do I want to approach that? You know what? I think I do want to go with the 5-man midfield. Malcolm had a pretty good game last time out. So with Maulida and Depay out, I think Malcolm might be the player to step in. And then Auger can come onto the bench. You can kind of see already how Trincao is probably going to end up getting way more first-team football here. Just because of how things are currently playing out. I just wonder if I want to play Aouar ahead of Fekir. I think I do. I feel like Fekir might be on his way out. I feel like I've lost my patience with him. And because we're not fighting for a title spot, it's kind of like, if I was going to sell him midway through a season, this is probably the best season to do it. I'd kind of like the percentage of transfer revenue to be increased. What is it at the moment? Because if it's like 10% or something stupidly low, am I really wanting to sell players? 35%. So it's like, even if I sell Fekir for a lot of money, it isn't really going to help us a great deal. In terms of, we're not going to be able to reinvest it. We're just going to be losing a player. Jovic's loan deal. He's been played as an advanced forward instead of a poacher. You know what? That's fine. He did also get a goal for Sevilla. How's he done for them so far? Not great. I'm going to be honest. It could be a little bit more successful or a loan spell. Several players think you should let Fekir leave the club. It will be a much poorer side without him. I misclicked the option, but most people reacted well. So the misclick was good. I wanted to go with the top option there. The thing is, if I sell him for 70 million, and we only get 35% of that, like it's not a great deal, is it? I mean, I guess it's still like 20 million. Here's all those youth players with contracts expiring we're scouting. You can see they're all pretty awful, but all it takes is one amazing player for it to be worth having, you know, gone through this process. I mean, even if they're all awful, at least I don't have to worry about the fact that potentially I missed out on, you know, a really good deal for an insanely talented young player. That's kind of the other silver lining with all of this. French Cup 10th round. Who are we going to get drawn against? Marseille. That could have been an easier draw, couldn't it? Interesting how many of the Ligue 1 sides got drawn away from home versus teams drawn at home. Also, you can see here, there's a team playing in the National 2B who've been drawn against a team who aren't even in a playable league. So that's going to be a chance for one of those two smaller teams to go pretty far in the competition. We all like a good little underdog story, you know, a little run for a lower league side. Let's not pretend that we don't. We all love the Goliath battle. Fekir, can you speak to clubs, mate? Get on the phone. Get out of here. He's lost faith in me. I've lost faith in him. He's not really done that well this year. More players that we're scouting here. More of those players with contracts expiring at the end of the year. Looking for any with green recommendation. There's a distinct lack of them. Wanted by 12 clubs. His agent's offering him around. He plays for Sociedad. This guy looks very good, doesn't he? There's a few other French teams interested in him. Board, can we sign him? Costs far too much for the club to afford. He's going for 3.4 million. I'm going to put a bid on him on the assumption that Fekir might force his move through. Which might be a bold assumption. Also, there's lots of teams interested. Manchester United step up chase for Coman. Yeah, less of that. I'll consider selling him, but only at the right price. What is the right price? I'd say like 94 million. What we've got it set to is probably what we would consider selling him for. This guy wants £23,000 a week as a hot prospect, and he wants it to shoot up. I can only assume he has nuts potential because of the teams interested. So with that in mind, I'm going to give a significantly bigger offer than perhaps what I need to. And then we'll wait for the scout report to come back. Hopefully it says he's the best thing since sliced bread. And if it does say that, then, you know, we'll potentially sign him. If other teams don't go in for him. I don't really want to offer more than what we've just offered there. Unless the scout comes back and goes, yeah, he is literally the best thing since sliced bread. In which case it might be a case of panic. Francesc, how are you looking? You're not very good. I'm glad that we scouted you before we signed you from Barcelona. Bullet dodged. Anyways, the Coupe de la Ligue quarter-final kind of underplayed this competition a little bit. You know, it is the baby domestic competition, the one that people don't quite care about just as much. Bordeaux knocked out Marseille. I really like the likes of PSG and Monaco to also get knocked out here. If we just look at the profile for the competition, we've won this competition a couple of times, so we're trying to retain this again like we are with the French Cup. In terms of team, am I happy with this? You know what? I think I am. Coman's going to play out on the left. He's going to have to fill the void that has been left behind by the injury. How did Espen Larsen look, who we brought in on trial? He's not that great, is he? I think we'll just let that trial expire. It was worth having a look at him. Do I want to play Tolisso at left wing back, or do I want to just bring in Mendy? I think I just want to bring in Mendy, to be honest. Could potentially bring in Tolisso for Aouar. But I kind of want to keep starting Aouar because I want to see him, you know, surpass Fekir's quality. And he is continuing to develop, which is good. He's not hit his potential yet. Although he is probably getting pretty close to it. Let's give him the run out. Looking at their team, they've got Tizzy and Diallo up top. That was the same duo who played up front against us before. They've got another regen in Muller at centre mid. It's a good team, but it's a team that we should beat fairly convincingly, I feel like. We're at home for the game, so again, I feel like that gives us a bit more of an edge in this game. But if there's one thing I've learned with our Lyon side over the years, it's the fact that we do have a little bit of a complacency issue at times when it comes to games that we expect to win and teams looking to hit us on the break. I guess the good news is they're playing with wing-backs as opposed to, you know, wider midfielders. I always feel like our full-backs are where we get exploited, you know, in behind, but wing-backs are going to struggle to find that space. And if Eder Militao scores goals like that, we're not going to need to worry. What a finish that is. 2 minutes into this game, the full-back scores an effort. It wasn't the craziest shot in the world. It's just kind of hit the post and then snuck in at the back. But a nice strike nevertheless. On his left peg, hits the post, gets in behind the keeper, barely crosses the line. But we'll take it, and, well, we go a goal up in this game, which is kind of what you want to see. Can we keep pushing this now? You know, it'd be good to get another. A quick 1-2 blow would be nice. We're in the 5th minute. There is another highlight going, and Toussaint wins it, pumps it through to Gabels, who should tuck that away. That is the kind of finish we need from a player who is going to bang in goals all year for us. More finishes like that, Gabels. That was really confident and a really good one-on-one situation. Verdun bringing the ball out from the back for them. Kind of, I think he thought he was a libero. Either way, Gabels is the man to capitalise, and that is a top-quality finish. Just kind of caresses it into that top right corner. That is exactly what we want to see here. We do need to defend though. Muller, threaded through by Tizzy, hits the woodwork. Lopez didn't react. I'm just going to trust the fact that he knew the dimensions of his goal there and the fact it was going wide, which may or may not be the case. Our set piece, 10th minute, whipped in, headed away. Kingsley Coman, have a go. Not far wide at all. Good little effort from him. Seems like we're not happy to kind of rest on what we've got. We want to keep pushing. We want to keep forcing the issue here against Sochaux, trying to get a few more goals potentially, which I'm very much on board with. More of that, please. Tizzy hits this. Wide of the post again. Lopez looked like he had it covered. Sochaux yet to have a shot on target. They're having a fair share of possession, but we're just winning that midfield battle, it feels like, at the moment, which is kind of the whole mindset with our three centre mids. You know, we have three very different central midfielders, I feel like, in the box-to-box midfielder, the advanced playmaker and the ball winner. But equally, they all just kind of work so well alongside one another. You know, they all complement each other. But whipped into Gabels. Can we have another good finish? It's a crunching tackle. To be fair, that's an insane tackle to keep Sochaux in this. I felt like he was through. Still might not be over here. Malcolm switches the play over to Kingsley Coman. Playing out on that left-hand side, cuts in on his right peg. Prevost with the stop. It was not a bad little run inside. Wallace on a booking has got to be a good little boy for the entirety of the second half, but I've got faith in him just to do that for us. You can see average ratings looking pretty positive by our standards. I feel like it's unusual that we've scored more than one goal this year. You can see Almiron's picked up an injury and Monaco are currently trailing in the other fixture going on right now. PSG are winning in this competition. I mean, if one of Monaco and PSG can be knocked out, that would be good. We're yet to lose to either of them this season. So, kind of, my mindset to an extent is that I feel like on our day we can beat either of them and certainly be a match for either of them. And, of course, to win cup competitions, you've got to anticipate your take on the big dogs. But let's be honest, we all wish for the easier path to the final. That's another good finish by Gabels. If you can start doing this in the league, mate, we're going to be laughing. Lovely little finish. I don't know why I've said laughing like that. It's laughing. Like it's grass and not grass. I realise if you're not British, you might not understand this, but basically, depending on where you are from in Britain, you say words very differently. Like grass and grass, and like bath and bath. I think you get the idea now. It's an ongoing debate. I don't know how widely known that is as a thing, so I feel it necessary to explain that we're having a laugh is not how I'd normally say it. I feel like it almost adds to the sarcasm when I say it. Who knows? Anyway. It's 3-0 up. The second half's barely begun, so there's still a chance for Gabels to maybe get his hat-trick here. You'd feel like now, knowing it's a cup game, they're going to just, really go for this now. Maybe leave themselves a little bit more open at the back. Maybe the goals can even flow more freely in the second half. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, we'll see if that can happen here. Awar dinking forward the ball to Gabels again. It's lots of these long balls through, but they're working wonders. This time Gabels can't finish. Wasn't the greatest of strikes, but I think some credit has to go to Prevost for the stop. Given the fact that we just lost Depay in a pointless game that didn't really have a great bearing on it, I'm going to make a double change here. I'm going to take off Malcolm and I'm going to bring on Trincao. And on the other wing, I'm going to take off Coman. I'm not going to do the Depay situation. I'm not going to needlessly leave him on to break his leg in a pointless game. Instead, we're going to bring in Moise Kean out on the left and see what he can do for us. Kone, another one of our players. I don't feel like we've been getting match reports on him. We haven't. Get the match reports. He's been playing a lot off the bench, this guy, but he's only 17. Very, very talented player. We'll have to keep an eye out for him here and see if he does anything. What number are you wearing? You're wearing number 14. No pressure, Kone. No pressure. But we have got an eye on you. Ball lumped forward. Gabels is still going to want his hat-trick. Ball threaded forward. Aneda to we have our eye on him. And he's done the correct thing there. He's decided, you know what, I could score against my parent club. I'm not going to do that. And he's missed the one-on-one. I'm proud of him for doing that. Anyway, this looks like it's going to wrap up here at 2-0. A good little performance, to be fair. I don't think... Did we win 2 or 3-0 against Sochaux in the league? I feel like we only won 2-0 against them in the league. Similar team in terms of their selection to the team we met previously I'm happy with that, though. It was also a good opportunity just to build up a little bit of match fitness with the likes of Trincao and co. Unfortunately, you can see here both Monaco and PSG turned things around, so we're guaranteed to have to play one of them at some point in the competition now. How did Tizzy do? He did okay. Kone didn't really play that much. Gabel's 2 goals and an assist. You were a joy to behold, my friend. Also, his determination's gone up. That feels good. And now we march on into a game against Nice. Vinicius Junior apparently has been removed from our scouting records. Looking at it, he's happy at Real Madrid now. Has he even been playing for them much? The answer is a resounding no. But he is happy to play for them, apparently. Go figure. I'd almost be tempted to counter-negotiate with Real Madrid and see if they give up Vinicius Junior for Fekir. It's not even the craziest idea I've ever had. Oje's picked up an injury for a couple of weeks. We'll leave that to physio. Kenny Lala bruised his knee, bless him. The fact he got injured in the 93rd minute for our reserves, Oje, is a little bit annoying. The Roberto Matias deal. Yes, it's been delayed for a week. That's fine. We are scouting him, right? We are. Let's just make sure that he is high priority. Where are you, Matias? He's going to be down at the bottom, isn't he? Here he is. Prioritise assignment. Juventus have made an offer to loan Militao until the end of the year. No. No. No thank you. It's a kind offer, but no deal. Let's offer Fekir out for 60. I'm kind of coming around to the idea now that I've probably just got to let him go. Real Madrid have made an offer. And it's a negotiable one. Oh, can we stick in Vinicius Junior? Do you mind adding him in? Like, how does that sound? They've removed it. They weren't on board with that. I'm going to be cheeky here. They've left it negotiable. I'm asking for 70. I feel like 60 is going to be that golden number, but I kind of want to eke out anything else I can. Percentage of next sale, 50%. They did not like that. 58 million, but not a lot of it's in clauses. I'm going to take that. You can let me know if you like or dislike that decision. But I'm just going to take that. He's been unhappy for a long, long time. And I'm kind of at a point now where we're in a bit of a write-off season. Like, if we were challenging for the title, I'd be a lot more against letting him go. But this year, he's not contributed as much. His unhappiness has impacted his performances. I think in Trincao and Tizzy... not in Trincao at all. In Awar and, you know, other players who are coming out like OJ, like Tizzy, we've got players who are going to fill the void. I mean, let's just have a look. Compare Awar with Fekir. Are they really that different at this point? I feel like Fekir is still a little bit better. But, I mean, you can just see how similar the players are in terms of positions. I guess the contribution on the pitch is the difference. You know, 7 goals, 3 assists for Fekir. But at the same time, it's a bit like... they're very similar. Very, very similar. And it's just... 60 million's a lot of money. Like, we can actually do stuff with that money. Like, potentially sign that French fullback from Atleti. So with that in mind, I kind of feel like... I don't know, I've got to take an L. You know, put my tail between my legs. Accept it might be over. Gabel's is now injured. Why are all these injuries coming after the winter break? Right as I was confident that Gabel's was finding some form, he's out. Blooming typical. But no, I feel like we've got to take a small loss. Just wondering who might be transfer listed. The thing is, we're not going to have a lot of money to work with. That's the other issue here. We're not going to have like a load of cash just suddenly, you know, fall into our pockets. We have already agreed to sign Oliver. You can kind of do a job for us. We've also got Addons as well. Of course, this guy's just joining us on a free, so it's kind of a bit of a no risk, low risk, high payoff potential deal. Addons really hasn't done that well at Newcastle. He's actually declined a little bit as a player. Gravenberch, though, maybe could come in if he wasn't injured with his broken ankle, which I just remembered about. Freitas, maybe there's a spot for Freitas in the team. Maybe we say, you know what, you're the man we're going to bring in and who's going to have to try and step up for us aged 18. He does look very, very good, doesn't he? Just wonder if there's any regens in any of the other national teams that I've not already been made aware of. You know, maybe there's some nutty regen on the horizon who is the reborn Fekir. I want to believe that we might already have that player. How's Rodrigo Antonio been doing for us? He's been playing in the National 2A. He's only 18. He looks like a good player for the future as well. We've got a lot of exciting prospects when you think about it. It's a good time to be a Lyon fan, I feel like. Just need to hope that the Fekir deal now goes through before we have to ask for confirmation on that fullback signing, assuming that we do decide that we want him. It's good to see just so many of our young regens playing regular football at the level that we're already playing at. Like, that is invaluable for their development. This guy does look very good, Roberto Macias. We have offered a lot of money, but when you look at Monaco being interested, Barcelona, Chelsea, Manchester United, Man City, that makes me pretty confident he's a very, very good player. Like, it's a little kind of general kind of tip of advice, and this is particularly useful if you're playing with attribute masking on. If a player has interest from very, very big teams, the chances are he's a very, very good player, or at least he has some potential that he's yet to hit, and their scouts are recommending them. You know, if it's one or two of the bigger teams, you know, maybe err with a little bit of caution, but if it's more than two, like, there's no smoke without fire, and the fire is the fact that you've got a very, very good player sat in front of you. Anyway, we've got a little bit of an injury crisis. I'm not going to pretend that we haven't. In fact, it is a little bit concerning. I might need to promote some players from the reserves here. The thing is, most of my best young players are out on loan. Right, Rodrigo Antonio, my friend. Welcome to the first team. I'm tempted to bring up Voisin Verdier as well. Although, I don't think he's quite ready. Just wondering if there's anyone I want to recall from loan. It's a shame Tizzy can't play in the wider areas, and he's doing so well on his loan. St. Maximin's been on a bit of a decline, but he has at least been playing regular football. I'm just wondering about recalling Shadas. I'm just wondering about it. I mean, he's got 5 assists. He's not done terribly. But I might well need him. I think I do need him as well with all the injuries. And if Fekir's going to leave too, and we're unlikely to get an immediate replacement, we need him back. I'm going to have to register Rodrigo Antonio because he's non-EU. Which isn't too big of a problem because we've got... Well, is that our first player being used in that slot? Yeah. Oh, no, of course. He isn't even EU. He's part Spanish. That was one of the reasons we signed him, is because he's part Spanish. It might be a really terrible idea, but part of me's like, yeah, why not just play him on his debut? Just start him. It's a terrible idea. We're not going to do it, but there is a voice in the back of my head that thinks it might be not a terrible idea. Moreno's got some interest as well from West Ham, which is kind of interesting. He's valued at 30 million. If we got an offer in that region, I'd probably take it for him. He's only played, 5 games this year for us? Let's give him a little run out here. A little bit of a confidence builder, maybe. Antonio, you're getting the number 10, I've decided. Well, actually, the auto numbers are decided. Let's see how we get on here, though. They've got a good little team. They're playing with a quite kind of deep-sitting midfield. I'm hoping that their two defensive mids aren't really going to nullify our three centre mids. We'll have to see how that battle emerges. But, well, let's see how we get on here against Nice. It's going to be a tough little game, I think, for us. Never an easy one, but going into this game, 2 wins so far this episode. 2 games you'd very much expect us to win. In the league, it feels like it's been a slightly different challenge for us this year. We've struggled a little bit more. Anyway, Awar whips it in. Free header for Toussaint. Malcolm offside. Don't celebrate it. Stop it. Stop it. We're checking with VAR, but the referee's assistant has his flag up. I knew immediately. There you go. It's not even close. He's actually behind the keeper. Goal kick for them, lumped forward. 14 minutes gone. We've been very, very good so far, but, well, we need to see results on the pitch. Malcolm bringing the ball forward. Malcolm potentially going to get a little run in the first team now, with Depay out injured and Coman probably having to mostly play out on the left. The right attacking midfielder spot is very much up for grabs between Malcolm and Trincao. Awar hits it just over the bar. Not a bad little effort at all for him. He is going to have the big boots of Fekir to fill. Does make you wonder with Fekir if we should have just taken... What was the biggest bid we ever had for Fekir? I think it was about 80 million. And I wanted 100. Maybe greed's got the better of me, but I feel like hindsight's a wonderful thing. Lopez, where are you going? Don't do that again. That scares me. You're not Neuer. You don't have that flair to bring the ball out there. It concerns me. Militao. Across to Ndombele. What can we do from here? Back to Militao. They're having their own little game. They're loving it. Ndombele. What are you going to do now? To Coman. Ndombele again. Look at the lovely build-up play. Can we have a finish? It hits the woodwork. Not a bad effort at the end of it. We're still yet to hit the target from 11 shots. That is not... It's not a particularly good shots on goal to on target ratio. Free header back post. That's what we want to see. Moise Keane. Awar with the assist as well. First shot on target. First goal. Feels like it has been coming a little bit, but nevertheless, good to see it fly in. Awar whips it in. Moise Keane leaps like a salmon. He stings like a bee. We're going to need him to get some goals in the next couple of weeks. With Gabel's out injured, Maulida coming back from his longer-term injury. Moise Keane is one of the few natural strikers we have in our team. Except from, of course, Antonio, who is on the bench for today. I do kind of want to give the young Spaniard a run out, especially if we were to go, 2 goals ahead with maybe 20 minutes left. It would be an ideal opportunity just to bring him on and see what he can do. Anyway, Nice with the ball here. Working it around. Cyprian here. We've got space to manoeuvre in. We're kind of quite happy to sit off and then just cut out the passing lanes of that pass in the final third. You could argue that's a high-risk strategy, but when we force them to, just give up possession like that, it's absolutely fine. Ndombele bringing the ball forward now. Options on ahead. Goes to Awar. Wide to Malcolm. Eder Militao's going to be on the overlap. I might go the other way, though. Ndombele, I want to criticise him. I want to say, you greedy man, but actually it wasn't that bad of an effort. The woodwork denying him. Awar now with the set piece. Hits it. Woodwork again. We're hitting the woodwork all over. We've just hit it twice. We've hit the woodwork 4 times in this game. 26 shots, 4 on target. 4 times we've hit the woodwork. Of course, hitting the woodwork doesn't count as a shot on target in football. Man, this could have been a very different first half. I'm still going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. Am I happy? I'm happy. Things are actually going okay. They've done nothing all game. They've had 37% of the ball. But still, when you're on top in a game like this, you want to be getting the goals to really assert that dominance. You don't want to offer them an avenue back into the game. It's unlikely that a game will always be 100% in your control. It's a very difficult task for a team to not give up at least one opportunity against them over the span of a football match. So when you are on top in a game, when you are having that period in the game where you're having a lot of the ball, where you've got them, backs against the wall, I really can't stress how important I feel like it is just to capitalise on that. Anyway, I think we'll bring in Fekir, and I'm going to bring him on On the right for Malcolm, who's not at the best of games. Can we have a round of applause for Fekir? I know it's not on the most amicable of terms, his departure. But it's impossible not to, you know, think where we... Well, just dread to think where we would be without him. We're going to have big boots to fill, but I feel like we've got so many young players up and coming, ready to hopefully fill that void. We've not always seen eye to eye, but I can respect what he's done for our team and the fact that he did guide us to our first ever Champions League. Coman to Aouar. Goes all on his lonesome, gets fouled, falls to Fekir. Ndombele, have a go. He hasn't had a go. He's been sensible. Keane, near post header. Oh my gosh, we've hit the woodwork twice, and then Moise Keane has fallen into the ball. It might be the worst goal I've seen in Football Manager this year, but I'm not going to complain. Please savour this. You won't see many goals better than this. Moise Keane hits the woodwork twice. It's like we're going to hit the woodwork, like, and aiming for it. Header hits the post. Shot hits the post. He then falls over, and the ball gets cleared against his back and ends up in the back of the net. I'm not going to complain. Right, so we're going to take off Coman for Keane, who is on a hat-trick. And I'm going to bring in Rodrigo Antonio. This is your moment, son. Brazilian under-21 international. Brought into the club to get goals. What can he do? He's wearing the number 10 shirt. There's an air of anticipation above his name. Ndombele hits it. Just wide. Not a bad effort. Not a good effort, really, either, though, there, unfortunately for us. At 2 goals up, though, I feel like we can relax perhaps just a little bit. We have got 1 sub left if we want to do it. Do I want to do it? I do. I'm going to bring in Tolisso for Ndombele. He hasn't had the best of games. I feel like Tolisso needs to be playing a little bit more than he has been already. I do still feel like he could do a really good job for us at left back. Especially if Moreno was to leave us for West Ham, who was showing interest. You know, Tolisso would then probably alternate fairly frequently with Mendy at left back. As it is, though, that is a good little win. 2-0. Was that 3 clean sheets in a row again today? I feel like we've been doing a lot of clean sheets just in general. Also, did I just see Liverpool have signed De Ligt? Or was that a different player they'd signed? It looked like De Ligt in the picture. I'm curious. I swear he was playing for Manchester United. Transfer history is what I want here. Oh no, Julian Brandt. It's another European player who's blonde. You can see how a tiny little picture of him could maybe look like De Ligt, right? If I now want to show that they do kind of look similar. I think there's enough similarities there that the small little picture of a news inbox item could throw you off. Anyway, we've got a load more of those scout reports on players with contracts expiring. I'm going to be honest. Feels like it's probably been a quite fruitless effort, that little scouting venture. Did we get the scout report on Macias yet? We haven't. We have not. Moise Keane played very well there, though. PSG won 3-0. Can Monaco slip up? That's the next question. Can they blow it? No, of course they can't. All 3 teams at the top, towards the top of the table winning in the later kickoffs. And I feel like that's ultimately going to be our big problem this year. Even if we win all of our remaining games, I feel like we're already trailing by too much. Maria, can you talk to some teams? He has complained about lack of first team football. I think he wants out. Can't exactly blame him for that. How many players did I scout? I did not realise it was this many. I mean, it's fine that it's this many. It's just I didn't realise it was so many. Ravelli plays for Bordeaux. He looks okay. He doesn't look great. He's injury prone as well. The question really is Fekir going to leave to end today's episode? Because I feel like that would be a good point to end. I don't really want to do the Dijon game. Juventus have made an offer for Militao. I'll tell you what. If you bid 90 million, you can have him. Yeah, I thought that would be the case. Lazio make a loan offer for Trincao. I need to reject all loan offers on him now because we don't intend to loan him out with all the injuries we've currently got. And with Depay out for the rest of the year and Fekir leaving, we're going to need him more than ever. Juventus, go away, please. Stop trying to tempt away our man. I mean, they really want him. They really want him. He's got 3 years left on his current deal. I'm wondering if he'll sign a new contract. The answer is no. Too much interest being shown from elsewhere. I mean, Juventus, please. Every time I hit continue, it's a different offer from them. I mean, literally, I don't know why hitting reject all on transfer offers causes them then to make a different offer. Reject all loan offers. It's because you can't have reject all loan offers and reject all transfer offers together. Can I not have just reject all offers in general? Unavailable for loan. Now stop bidding on him. Please. Thank you. They'll put in a loan offer now. If they do, I'm just ending the episode, just so you know. They've stopped. It's over. The loop. The cycle of Juventus, as they call it. It ends today. Thankfully. Right, Monaco playing here, so are PSG. Can you both slip up? I didn't actually see. I assume this is league games. Of course they don't slip up. Of course they just keep on winning. Everyone's now played a game more than us. If we win it, we will be within 5 points of Auxerre, but we're not catching the other guys right now. I think it's time to probably accept that. You can see next episode we've got the Coupe de la Ligue semi-final, so that's going to be an exciting time. Oh my gosh, now Lucas Romero's out for 2 weeks. Everyone's just getting injured. What's in the water at the moment? It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Anyway, it doesn't look like Fekir's could be leaving before the end of today's episode, so that'll be something to worry about next time. They might not let me delay this for another week, you know. His potential isn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be, but I still think he's worth a punt at £2 million based on the interest that was being shown in him. Yeah, I guess I haven't missed an inbox item with the Fekir deal falling through, have I? No, it's just contract negotiations. Well, let's hope that that materialises, because it'd probably be in our interest. But anyway, I think we're going to wrap things up here for today, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed. Let me know, Fekir, what you think of the whole situation. I'd be curious to know your thoughts. The fact that Depay is now out for pretty much the rest of the season is going to be a big, big miss. But we have recalled Shadas, who I will quickly register now, because otherwise I will forget to do that. But he offers us, I guess, a degree of flexibility, particularly with Fekir on his way out. We need a, player who can slot in and do a similar role, I guess, to Aouar. And I feel like he's the man for the job. But yeah, let me know what you think of the situation. I feel like £60 million is still very good money. Maybe we could have got a little bit more for him. I think the other thing to consider is the fact he is 28. And he's 29 at the end of the year. So he's not getting any younger. He's not a player... I was about to say he's not a player entering his prime. I guess for a midfielder like 27, 28, I would consider their prime. But I can't see him improving a great deal more. And I feel like in Aouar we have got a more than adequate replacement anyway. But yeah, that's all from me. Hope you've enjoyed. Drop a like if you have. I'll see you guys again soon. And it is me, Jack. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.